Hi folks, welcome back. I haven't done a video for oh quite a long time actually. I was really ill and I mean not sort of bedridden ill, but I had I had a bit of a thing going on that I was losing a bit of blood and um doctors got worried and it's sort of been going on since about February. But I then sort of like got sent to hospital. It was like an emergency appointment. So I got to get checked out, and then I was given some antibiotics. I was told I had like an water infection, so I took some antibiotics. And being a bit dumb as I am, the antibiotics I had a bit of a reaction to them, and it was like a breathing thing. I was that desperate to for the antibiotics to work, and that I kind of ignored the fact that it was making my breathing a little bit bad. So I then had a couple of weeks of you know poor breathing. Finished the antibiotics, and then I had another. My breathing actually steadily got worse to the point where I had to call an ambulance, and they sort of carted me off. And as with a lot of hospitals, if it's if you're not dead or dying, they'll they'll take you in on an ambulance, and I really felt rough. And they sort of just then sort of deposited me in the A&E waiting room. So I was there from about sort of 8 o'clock till I think it was about 4 a.m. And there's only so much like television with subtitles you can actually watch because I don't really have internet on my phone. I don't have any. I haven't got a contract that. I was yeah, it was a long night. But yeah, when I came out, I just I went to. I mean, it was the next day, and about 6 o'clock, I was that tired and didn't go to work, and then I got signed off for 2 weeks because my doctors couldn't figure out, or my doctor couldn't figure out, um, specifically what it was that I had. It said it was an upper respiratory infection, but it's the weirdest thing I've ever had. I've still got it a little bit of it left, and it's I can breathe in fine. There's no sore throat, no blocked nose. I I had no sort of like stuff on my lungs. But it was like you can breathe in fine, but when I went to breathe out, it's like inhaling an oven when you open the oven door. And yeah, it was just really difficult. I was really worried. I still am a little bit. But I'm sort of determined to push on. And even when I went back to work, the first day I was back at work, I kind of thought to myself, "Am I going to be stuck with this for life?" Um, so yeah, the purpose of this video was just to basically just to let you know exactly how I am and how I felt. And you know what? When you get something like that, when you get something that's unusual, and by the way, the original cause of the um losing blood and stuff, that hasn't been solved yet. I think I've had a bit of a tear inside me, um, and I'm still losing blood. So that's another thing I have to deal with. On top of getting rid of this breathing thing, which was because of the antibiotics that I had, it's um, it's kind of like makes it very difficult to see the wood through the trees at the moment. I don't get despondent about it because I think over the last probably about a year, I've become a little bit more. I don't know, not. I don't like to use the word spiritual because I feel like I'm trying to set myself apart from people, but there's something changed that I sort of view myself differently. I view my existence differently. Um, and maybe it is a spiritual thing, but it's not. I don't like to kind of think like there's like a woo woo sort of thing, somewhere out there. There's, I mean, perhaps there is. I don't know, but maybe I don't like to think fanciful about that I'm in touch with some kind of entities that are helping me or that are part of me. Um, but I just kind of feel differently about life. I feel differently about people. Um, and the other kind of issues, which is the gambling and the trans thing, that I feel they've taken a back seat. And what happened in March, obviously, with the Supreme Court thing, it's in a way it was a bit of a wake up call for me. Um, and ironically, that's where my problem started. And even more ironically, one of them's probably connected to being trans. Um, but hopefully, I'll sort the physical things out at some point. And but it did make me kind of stop and think, not about mortality and the fear of dying, but just about what we do in life. And what I mean by that is, I think we spend a lot of our time absorbed with other people's problems. I mean, we've spent a lot of time, not problems, but we spend a lot of time absorbed with other people, in social settings, in work settings, in relationship settings, and we don't always become the best version of ourselves by doing that. And um, and it's not because of the other people; it's because as human beings in those situations, in those circumstances, we we tend to involve ourselves with um, our better halves, with family, with friends, and yeah, we don't sort of spend so much time looking after ourselves as much as we should do. But I'm not only talking for myself, because clearly there are people out there who do look after themselves, physically, mentally, and they look after the person that they're with, or the family they belong to, or the social group that they mix with. But for me myself, and I think I'm sure I'm not alone. Um, when I've spent a lot of time letting myself go, and I think if we can if we can sort of like work on our own existence, our own timeline, so to speak. So when from the moment you're born to the moment you die, there's lots of things that we can do in between that effectively make our life better. And if our life is better and we are not happy but more contented, and it means that we're less fighting the world around us. We can we can give out a bit more I suppose love and respect to people. And I think that's a connectivity that we aren't always afforded in life to actually give out freely love to people. And when you walk down the street, you're kind of thinking about what you need to do, about what you need to maybe get when but you cannot kind of feel thinking about the people that are in front of you. um and yeah, I've kind of come to realize that I by looking after myself, I can I might have more to give the world. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. And but by worrying about the world, and I kind of take my eye off the ball, so then I kind of realize that things are deteriorating for me, and I'm not able to focus what I'd like to focus on now, which is just other people, and spreading a bit of love. And when I say spreading a bit of love, you don't have to. I don't want to walk around sort of hugging people. Although I mean, I guess some people that might be nice. But it's just there. It's just a vibe that you give out, and you don't have to say anything. You don't have to look at people. It's not like a sexy thing. It's I just kind of feel that it's time to kind of give back to the world. I've been a selfish little bugger for quite a while. Some people will probably say I'm not, because they'd say, well, you actually, you're looking after someone and you're not selfish. But we know our own selves, and I can tell you now, I've been a very self-centered person. Um, I've always got time for people, but I've got more time for myself. And but right, and it's the wrong kind of self-centeredness. It's like what I can get, without actually considering other people, really, I suppose. Whereas now I think, if I can look after myself, my body, my health, um, I can maybe spread that positivity around. And I know it sounds a bit woo-woo, but it is a state of mind. I've reached a time in life where I need to engage with that state of mind. It's not the I guess it is just what's going on. And yeah, it's I think it's we all hit sort of points in our lives where it's the sort of the rail tracks have to sort of like switch a little bit. You might go down a different route, and I kind of feel like I'm heading that way now. Um, but yeah, first things first, I got to deal with this health thing, and then I can maybe focus on cue. There comes the cough. I can focus on the world around me. But um, yeah, my outlook towards other human beings and life and everything else is definitely changed, I think, and not just because of this, but this is a catalyst to actually change myself now, rather than just be happy with the world. I really want to change myself, um, and give myself a really good shot of life for the next decade or two, um, because yeah, I'm not getting any younger, and I'm nearly 60 now, so 58 years old. Um, and yeah, I think I can improve. I can improve my own timeline. I can do more positive stuff for myself and spread that around. So with that, I'm gonna bid you good night. I will sort of focus on something particularly, um, subject or something. I've got a few things in mind that I want to talk about, and because there is reality, the reality of life as well, and I do have thoughts about certain things. I'm not completely uh changed so that I love everyone. Everyone can come in my house, that kind of thing. It's there are things in life that maybe you have to change as well, and a lot of these things have been talked about in the UK and across the world. And yeah, it's interesting times, definitely interesting time. I've said this for the last 15 years. We're living through historical times. I'm hoping that the world will change for the better forever. But yeah, so till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you all.